little sweet baby muffin. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am back with three more looks with the Urban Decay Game of Thrones collection. About 2 weeks ago, when this was first announced, Urban Decay was kind enough to send me the whole collection, and for some reason I got it super early too. So I got a video out with it as soon as I could, and you guys reacted so well to it. First of all, thank you so much for all the love on that video. You guys were so cool and supportive in the comments, and I always really appreciate that. Thank you so much. But also, a lot of the comments and a lot of the DMs that I got and a lot of just the things that you guys were chatting with me about, you wanted to see more looks. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to squeeze that in before the premiere, but guess what? I did it. So when you are seeing this, it is the afternoon on the day of the premiere, or maybe it's later than that. But if you're seeing this when I first put it up, the premiere is tonight. I am stoked. I am excited. I am a little nervous. I have some anxieties. I have some questions. I have some thoughts. I have a whole roller coaster of emotions flowing through my veins. But I figured today would be a great day to upload this because we are all in the Game of Thrones spirit. So today I'm doing 3 more looks with the Urban Decay Game of Thrones collection. Now, if you've come here and you're like, I wanted a review, the first video that I did was a review as well. So if you want to see that, I will link you up here, which would bring you to a total of 6 looks with this collection plus your review. If that's not a thorough idea of what's in the collection, I don't know what is. And since we already did the review, which gives us a little bit more leeway today, I decided that with every look I would do like a bolder, more like lip art-ish kind of option at the end, just for funsies, just to be creative, just to, like, you know, get the creative juices flowing a little bit. I don't know that I would call all of them lip art because, I mean, when I think of lip art, I think of like what I usually do over on Instagram, which, if you're not aware, looks like this. I'll put them on the screen over here. With the exception of the last one, these are more like lip designs. For some reason, that label just doesn't apply in my head because you guys are probably familiar with the other stuff that I do. You know, you get what I'm saying? Before we get started, please know that as we go through these tutorials, I am going to be talking about the books and the show and about theories, about like Game of Thrones, like history stuff. And if you are not up to date, there may be spoilers. I don't want to spoil anything for you over a little bit of makeup, just so you know. But I also wanted to chat Game of Thrones with you guys who are interested in that stuff because, hello, we all share some common interests here. One of them is makeup and the other one is clearly Game of Thrones. Eye is watering already and it's ruining my liner. And I'm not happy about it because I really like this liner and I want to keep it on for the rest of the day. And I'm currently just like scanning the room for a Q-tip that I can use to touch this up. Don't water, you little bitch. I like this eyeliner. Before we get started, please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a second because it helps me in a very big way and I always appreciate it very much. And also, if you're new here and you've been like lurking through a few of my videos and you're not 100% committed to subscribing yet, I would like to take a moment to encourage you to do that. Hang out with me. It'll be fun, I promise. As always, everything that I use in this video will be linked in the description and each of the 3 separate looks will be timestamped. So if there's one in particular that you want to see over the others and you ain't got time to watch them all, you could jump around if you want. I am pretty sure that that's all we need to talk about before we get started. So let's just zoom right in and get started on look number 1, which is actually kind of look number 4 with this collection, but look number 1 for this video. So for this first look, I want to take some inspiration from a character on the show. It's really hard to do inspired looks by specific characters on Game of Thrones because for the most part, most of them don't really wear a ton of obvious makeup. Like, it's not usually a makeup look, it's like no makeup. Like, I think the heaviest eyeliner I ever saw on the show was on Khal Drogo. But as far as imagery is concerned, I want to take some inspiration from a character called Quaithe. Quaithe is kind of like a mysterious character, and I'll talk about her a little bit as we do the makeup, but on the show, she looks like this, and I want to take some inspiration, first of all, from like that like dark smoky eye, except I'm going to take it way further than they did on the show, obviously, just to make it more of a look. And then at the end, I'm going to add on a little lip art option inspired by her mask. So I'll show you a wearable lip that you could put with this look, and then a little lip art version just for funsies because you guys seem to enjoy when I do little creative twists on this channel, but also combine them with things that you could actually wear. So that's the plan today. So if you you remember on the show a fair few seasons ago, like it had to be like season 2, I think, when Dany was in Marine, a character came to her at one of the banquets that she was at with the guy that tricked her and like said that he was going to give her gold, but the safe was empty. What was his name? I can't remember his name. But she was at a party at his place. She kind of gave Dany a mysterious riddle and told her to go forward, you must go back, to go south, you must go north, that whole thing. To start the look, I'm actually picking up the pencil Dragon Smoke and I'm going to put that over my whole lid and then blend it out. So Quaithe shows up at this party and gives her this riddle and you're kind of like, who the hell is this mysterious woman who looks like she's probably really beautiful and is definitely some sort of a badass, but we don't know anything about her at all. I'm gonna buff the edge of that out toward my crease with a pencil brush. I'm just giving ourselves a nice like black smudgy base to put down a shadow over. So we never really hear much on the show about who Quaithe is. She appears in the books like 2 more times and usually she appears in dreams to like give Daenerys other prophecies and stuff, which most of them seem to be true. So as they start to come true, Daenerys kind of is like, oh shit, I better listen to what this lady in the mask says because clearly she knows what she's talking about. But it doesn't really give us any more information about like who this person is. So there is a theory that Quaithe is actually a character from about 200 years before the first book starts or the first season of the show starts, named Shiera Seastar. And Shiera Seastar is actually a Targaryen. And you might be wondering, why is she named Seastar if she's a Targaryen? The reason is because Aegon IV, who was, I believe, Daenerys's great-grandfather, he had like 1 billion illegitimate kids. Like he had just bastards running around everywhere. And for some reason on his deathbed, he decided to legitimize all of them and make them true Targaryens. But the most notable ones, as far as I know anyway, were Shiera Seastar and also who we know as Bloodraven or the Three-Eyed Raven, the guy who grew into the tree that was hanging out with Bran and turned him into the green seer that he is now. I'm not gonna spend too much time blending out the edge of that because I'm gonna blend it with another shade anyway and we're gonna go over it with shadows in general. I just wanted to get like a nice dark base to deepen up the color that I'm gonna put over this. I'm picking up a Morphe M433 brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Nymeria and I'm just gonna blend the edge of where we put down that black through the crease area with that. So it is thought that Shiera Seastar may indeed be Quaithe because obviously these people are like kind of inclined toward magic and they would be able to live for a really long time. And if she was a Targaryen, she would have motivation to give Dany clues and help her out and help to like do things to get her back on the Iron Throne. So that is one theory about who this mysterious lady is. But either way, regardless of who she really is, she looks cool as shit. So we are doing a look inspired by her today. The eye look is actually going to be very simple. So now that I have that base down, I've blended out the edge a little bit. I'm going to blend it more later, but I just have like a general blend going on now. And now I'm going to go into take the black on a Real Techniques shading brush and I am going to pack that from my lash line and bring it up toward where we blended that black out. Behind Quaithe's mask, you could see that she has like kind of like a little bit of a smudgy looking smoky eye. Not like a lot, but like enough just to make it look extra mysterious and cool behind that mask. And if Quaithe is indeed Shiera Seastar, Shiera was known for being like an absolutely incredible beauty in her time, which also is thought that it could be the reason why she wears that mask when she appears in person, because she was so beautiful that like people who were aware of who she was in her time would like recognize her if she didn't disguise herself. So that could be why she is wearing a mask. I'm kind of just going back and forth, packing more of this down, blending out the edge, packing it down, and blending out the edge until I get the height that I want and also get the blend that I want. And I haven't dipped back into Nymeria just yet, but I may, just to continue that blend a little bit more evenly. I just concealed underneath my eyes and I put down a bunch of powder to catch any more black shadow that might fall as we smoke out the lower lash line. But before we move on to that, I want to add a little bit of one of the Transformer shades to this look. I'm gonna take a tiny bit of the shade Winterfell on a pencil brush and I'm just gonna tap that in the center of my lid. I don't want this to be like super bright. I just want to add like a little bit of sparkle and shimmer to the center. Almost to give it like a wet look, even though this is definitely not wet. It is very much done with powder shadows. I'm picking up the Dragon Smoke pencil again and I am bringing that through my waterline and I'm gonna actually smudge a little bit of that through my lower lashes as well because I'm gonna blend it out with a brush and use it as a dark base just like I did on the top. If you want to, you can make this like a really round blown out smoky eye, or you can kind of take that edge and sweep it upward and have it be more of like a lifted smoky eye. Personally, on me, I find that shape to be a little bit more flattering. It really depends on your personal preference and your eye shape and your face and all that. On my Sigma E36, I'm just taking a little bit more of Nymeria and smoking the edge of that black shade out, just like we did on the top, going right into the inner corner with that. And I'm gonna go back in to take the black. This time I'm using a pencil brush to keep it a little bit more concentrated. I'm just gonna run that where we smudge that black pencil on the lower lash line, wing it out a little bit and then connect it to the top. And just like on the top lid, I'm gonna take the clean pencil brush again. I'm gonna go into the topper shade Winterfell and I'm going to just dab a tiny bit of that in the center, even less on the bottom than we did on the top because I don't want to take away from that smoky intensity. I just want to give it like a little bit of an almost wet shimmer. I added House of Lash's Stella Luxe Lash. I wiped away the powder underneath my eyes. And now when I highlight my face, I'm going to use the Mother of Dragons palette if I can find it. A few of you guys said that you wanted to see swatches of each of these the other day when I did the first video. So I'm just going to do finger swatches for them real quick so you guys can see the 3 different shades. On my pointer finger, this is Drogon. Then we have Viserion, and on my ring finger, Rhaegal. And just real quick, that is what they look like on the back of my hand as well. For this look, I think the color Viserion, this nice goldish champagne shade, is going to pair really nicely with this eye. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Nabla highlight brush and just sweep that over the high points of my face. I already added a little bit of blush. And as you guys know, obviously I've had this for over a week now and I've been dipping into this highlight palette quite a bit. And for some reason, these highlights wear so well. Like they just don't budge after you put them on your face. I don't know why. It's almost like they're cream to powder, but they're not quite. Like they're still definitely a powder, but they feel very creamy when you're applying them. And then once they're on, they're just like just stuck on so tight to your face. I don't know how they did that, but obviously dragon magic. It's dragon magic. And now I'm gonna finish this look off with a more wearable version of a lip for you guys so you have something wearable to put with this before we get into the lip art part. I'm gonna line my lips just lightly and then blend it toward the center with Lolita from Kat Von D. And then in the center, Sansa Stark lipstick from this collection, which has absolutely turned out to be one of my favorite lipsticks, like period, of all time. Like I have worn this so many times in the last 2 weeks. It's like I'm annoyed with myself. That's how much I've been wearing it. It's really nice. And this is the more simple version of the first look. So for the little lip art that I want to do to go along with this look, I'm trying to emulate the idea of Quaith's mask. And her mask looks like she has some sort of like a burgundy fabric, like tied in pieces, and it's covered over with these like geometric bronzy gold plates that just show her eyes and her mouth. So to replicate that sort of idea on the lips, I'm gonna put down a base of the Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick in the color Vino Noir. And I'm gonna create a little bit of a pattern if I can. I'm gonna try my best with these kind of like hexagonal fancy crafty glitters. Now these are not super safe for your face, so I don't recommend trying to recreate this with craft glitter, but the shape of them just kind of makes sense for this look. Also, the queen of these type of lips is Vlada MUA. You should definitely be following her on Instagram if you're not. She makes the most perfect sequins lips. Oh my god, I don't think I'll be able to live up to hers. I'm gonna try my damnedest though. I'm not gonna be able to talk while I do it, so I'm just gonna let you guys know what I'm doing beforehand. After I put on the liquid lipstick, I'm going to put down some dots of the House of Lashes clear glue. I'm gonna use a dampened brush just to pick up each little sequin individually and place it on the lip. So this might take a while. Let's get started. Well, it'll only take a while for me. You guys are gonna get fast forwarded through it. And this is the more lip arty version of this quaif inspired first look. So for look number 2 today, we're going with a little bit more of a Daenerys theme, and the cool thing about that is that I actually didn't really get to go into Daenerys named colors down here the last time in the last video. Just didn't wind up incorporating them in a look, so I'm going to be using these today. So we're going to be like completing this whole collection. First, I'm going to begin by going into the color House Lannister and putting that through my crease. I've come to enjoy this as my favorite crease color in this collection. Next, I'm going to go into Casterly Rock on a BH number 7 brush. I'm just going to put that in the deeper part of the crease. So if you only watch the show, you might be wondering why these purpley colors are associated with Daenerys. Fun fact, in case you're not somebody who's read the books, or even if you are somebody who's read the books, a lot of people just kind of miss this little tidbit because it's just like a little quick description portion of one of the early books. But Daenerys and all of the Targaryens have purple eyes in the books, which is so cool. I wish I had purple eyes. How cool would it be to have purple eyes? I mean, obviously, I was not in the boardroom at Urban Decay when they designed this, but I would imagine that's why they have that color in her little section. Next, on a flat brush from Thrive Cosmetics, I am going to go into the shade Stormborn, and I'm going to pick some of that up on the brush and then wet it with a little bit of Fix Plus. And I'm gonna just place that over most of the lid. I'm gonna pick up my BH number 7 again, and I'm gonna go into the shade Weirwood Leaves, and I'm gonna use that to blend that purple into the crease a little bit. For the center portion of the lid, I'm gonna go into the shade Bend the Knee, and every time I read this one, I can't help but giggle because of all of those memes that came out after she said bend the knee so many times. I'm picking that up on a small pencil brush. I believe this one is from e.l.f. and I am indeed going to wet it with a little bit of Fixie Plus. I'm just gonna pop that right in the center of the lid. Okay, this next part, for those of you in the know, you will know already that this shit is going to be really difficult. So I want you to take a moment and say a little prayer for me to the old gods and the new. I'm going to take the Super Beauty Hydro Liner in the color Space Panda, and I am going to use that on a tiny little detail brush that is meant to do nail art, but I use it for my makeup. And I'm going to use this to do just the outline of a white wing. So if I fuck it up, I'm going to fill in the center, but if I don't, then we're going to have a cool like negative space, just the outline of a wing. Whenever I do something like this, I try my absolute damnedest to get as much of it on camera as I can, but a lot of times I wind up getting like that close to the mirror, and so you guys miss quite a bit of it, so I apologize for that in advance. Okay, that actually wasn't that bad today. I think this one could be a little bit better, but we can always touch it up later. And you know what? This one came out pretty good, and we like to focus on the positive, because if you focus on the positive, it'll make your whole life better. You know what I mean? For the lower lash line, I want to fill in my waterline with bright golds. So of course, I'm gonna go with the Lannister Gold pencil. And I want to smoke that lower lash line out and make it a little bit more dramatic. So I'm going to go into the shade Weirwood Leaves on a Luxe 111 mini brush. And I'm just going to use that to buff into the lower lash line. And I'm going to bring that right up underneath the outer portion of that wing. And I like to add a dark shade underneath a white wing when I do it, because it almost makes it look like it's three-dimensional when you do that. And that's freaking cool. You see what I mean? Like, it almost looks like it's floating now. So I'm gonna go into the Transformer shade Bay of Dragons on that same Luxe 111 mini. I just wiped it off on a sponge. I'm gonna wet that and just pack that right on the inner corner portion, but I don't wanna bring it all the way up on the top because I don't want it to disturb the white liner at all. And on a smaller brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Hard Home. I'm gonna wet that as well, and I'm gonna pack that on top. Okay, after narrowly avoiding disaster because I poked myself in the eye with my mascara, I have the House of Lashes Iconic Lights on. I chose a lighter pair of flared lashes to go along with this look because I didn't want to cover up the fact that that's like a negative space kind of a liner kind of a thing going on. And the flare always goes nicely with a wing shape anyway. I'm just gonna brush away the extra powder I had underneath my eyes because we don't need that anymore. And I'm gonna highlight my face with the pink highlighter from the Mother of Dragons palette, if I could find it. Why do I keep losing this freaking palette? Hello? Mother of Dragons, where are you? Oh, I found it. I found her. So I'm gonna use the shade Drogon today because I think the pink will go nicely with the pinks and purples in this look. Starting with my nose. I'm gonna add a little bit of the Tarte blush in the shade Party just to rosy up my cheeks a little bit. And for the simple version of the lip to go along with this look, I am going to use the Dracarys Lip Stain because, hello, Daenerys, Dracarys, yeah, it goes together and we're using it. I'm just gonna build up a little bit of a stain with that, making it a little bit more concentrated in the center, and I'm gonna top it with a clear gloss. I will be using the So Juicy Plumping Gloss from ColourPop. And this is the simpler version of the second, more Daenerys inspired look. At first I had plans to do a very literal dragon scale lip art, and as I started doing it, for some reason, I just hated it. I hate this. I did it twice and it's just, I don't know, my scale drawing skills are just not where they need to be. I definitely need to practice them a little bit more if I want to get that right. So instead, I'm going to simplify it, which is probably a good thing in a way because it'll make it something more that you guys could wear or recreate. And I want to just emulate like the colors and like that color shifting kind of mysterious look of a dragon scale. So the lip will be like one big dragon scale. So I'm gonna start with the Colored Rain liquid lip in the color Jade, which has a nice emerald shade with a little bit of a blue shift. I'm going to top that with the Sigma Beauty Lip Vex, which is kind of like this weird iridescent sort of a topper in the color Transcend. And once that's on, I'm gonna decide whether or not I wanna top it with a gloss, but I may or may not top that on top of the other gloss with the Popstar Diamond Gloss just to make it look a little bit more glassy. And this is the second look with the bolder, more dragony lip option. Look number 3. We're doing look number 3. I want to do a crisp winged top, which I'm gonna make colorful with a smoky bottom. Partially, this is inspired by a look that I saw Orpha Zanali do the other day, because she did like this amazing, like huge glittery teal wing, but also I kind of wanted to recreate a shape that I did in this look here from my own Instagram. I love the shape that I used in this, just like the wing part, not necessarily the tear part, and I wanted to recreate that in like a more colorful way. So when I saw her like beautiful glittery teal wing, like a little light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, combine the two, ding ding ding. If you have like those really beautiful, smooth, beautiful eyelids, you know the ones that don't need anything and you can just do a winged liner on them. If you have those, and I'm very jealous of you, you can just skip like the crease portion of this. But my lids just naturally look like they're made of like the dough that makes funnel cakes, which is not cute by itself. So we are going to define my crease a little bit. So if you have dough lids too, feel free to define your crease as well. I'm gonna start by using House Lannister on my BH number 5 brush again. I'm popping that through the crease. And to deepen up the crease itself, make it a little bit more contoured, picking up the shade Nymeria on a BH number 7 brush, and I'm just gonna put that through the deeper part of the crease. And blending the whole thing with a clean blending brush. Now for the lower portion of the lid, I don't actually want any color there. It's gonna be mostly covered by the wing, but I do want to set that base that I have down, which by the way is the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the color Eden, if I hadn't mentioned that yet. So I'm going to set it with my translucent powder. I'm just picking up what's left of my Hourglass Veil powder in the cap on an e.l.f. brush, and I'm just going to pack that over the actual lid area of my lid, the lid area of my lid, and then blend it into the crease colors. That'll give it more of a smooth transition and like a better base for us to draw our wing over, because I don't know about you guys, but I find that if I don't set my base at all, drawing on a wing is a little bit more difficult and it never really looks as smooth. Next, I'm going to add a nice thick fat wing. I'm gonna use the Benefit Roller Liner today because I love this. That wing's actually a little bit smaller than I want it to be, but sometimes when I'm doing a wing like this, I'd rather go a little smaller and then have to amp it up than go like way too hard and then not know what to do to fix it, because there's essentially nothing I can do and there's no going back. You know, does that make sense? All right, that's more along the lines of what I was talking about. Next, I am picking up the Night King eye pencil, and I'm essentially just going to use this to trace over that black wing and make it a blue one. I went outside the lines there a little bit, but that's okay. We can clean that up, no problem. I actually haven't put anything underneath my eyes yet, so no biggie. So to clean that up, I'm just going to take a makeup wipe, wrap it around my fingernail, and just kind of edge the bottom of it. For this look, we're actually going to be smoking out the lower lash line and the bottom portion of the wing, but I like to start with a nice clean wing shape so that way I can just put the smokiness however I see fit, and I don't have to use the smokiness to cover anything else up. You can, but I'd prefer not to have to. Now picking up the Winterfell Snow pencil, and I'm going to do the same thing, but this time, because this is more of like almost like a clear base with like a really cool shimmer in it, I'm gonna start in the middle of the liner and kind of use that to highlight the other part of the blue. But I'm not bringing that all the way out to the end of the wing because I want that to remain darker, and I'm not bringing it all the way into the inner corner for the same reason. I concealed my under eye area, and now I want to continue this blue goodness on the lower lash line. So I'm just gonna take that pencil and start by bringing it through the waterline, and I'm not gonna be too picky about how far down it goes because I'm gonna smoke that out and make it blue anyway. And while that's still kind of movable, I'm just gonna take a small brush and start flicking that out toward the wing. I'm gonna go into the color Frozen North from the eyeshadow palette on a pencil brush, and I'm gonna smoke over that liner with that color. They're really, really similar. So not only will this be really good for smoking out that line, but it'll also make that bottom part of your makeup like immovable. End up picking up Winterfell Snow again, and I'm gonna do basically the same thing I did on the top on the bottom. Even though we already put a powder down, I've noticed that Urban Decay pencils layer fine even over eyeshadow. So it's gonna be okay. Okay, House of Lashes Stella Luxe. I added a little bit of blush and contour, and we are going to highlight again. And this time, my Mother of Dragons palette's right here. I didn't lose it on my other desk this time. I knew I could do it. Going into Viserion on my Nabla highlight brush, I'm just going to pop that on my cheeks and my nose and stuff. So for my lip, I want to do a red because there's nothing I love in this world more than like blues and turquoises mixed with reds and oranges. Wow, Nicole, we had no idea. We had no idea. Could never have imagined that maybe you like that combo. Wow, wow. So for the simpler version of the lip, I am going to start by lining my lips with the Kat Von D pencil in the color Rosary. I'm gonna fill them in with the Daenerys Targaryen lipstick from this collection, and top it off with the clear Princess Cut So Juicy lip gloss from ColourPop. And this is the simpler version of the third look. So for the more fun, creative little lip twist on this one, I want to create something that is inspired by the ice fire that Viserion, the dragon who was killed by the White Walkers, breathes to break down the wall. I mean, he breathes it all the time, but that's just where we saw him do it, you know what I mean? As a base, I'm gonna be using the Nabla liquid lipstick in the color Black Champagne. Over the top of that, I'm going to use a little bit of the Winterfell Snow and Night King pencils. And for the bright white areas, I will be using the Suva Beauty Hydra Liner in Space Panda yet again. As you well know, I can't talk while I do these things on camera, so I'm going to just make this into a little montage. So let's get started on the final funky lip for this video. And this is the more lip arty, fun, creative version of the third and final look. And that is all for the looks today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you were excited and not bored by the fact that I did 3 more looks with this collection. I think that it will go over well because so many of you asked for it and I ran a poll and a lot of you said that you were into it. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know, what are you doing for the Game of Thrones premiere? Personally, I'm going to be watching the premiere live as it happens by myself because everybody else had to work. But tomorrow night I'm planning like a little Game of Thrones meal and some wine and some snacks with my husband, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna have like a really fun little Game of Thrones evening. While he watches this for the first time, I'm gonna rewatch it anyway, so it worked out pretty well. Also, my sister is cooking a Game of Thrones feast and she didn't even invite me. I'm joking, we live in different states and she couldn't invite me, but I'm very jealous, just to be clear, I'm very jealous. You guys like go all out or you just kind of like make it like a movie night on the couch? I would love to know how you watch your Game of Thrones. Also, let me know if you're picking anything up from this collection. I would love to know what caught your eye. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video because it helps me out, and also don't forget to subscribe because I would love to have you around. And to keep up with me between videos, go follow me on other social media, but mainly Instagram. I'm at Miss Quinface. I do more elaborate versions of lip art over there, some more like funky editorial stuff when I have the time to do it. And I keep everything updated about what goes on here on this channel, unboxing my PR stuff, running polls, asking questions, Q&As, things like that. That all goes down on Instagram story, so I would love to have you over there. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the premiere of Game of Thrones if you'll be watching it tonight, and I will see you in the next one.